The WHO reports Gaza's health system is experiencing a complete collapse, and Nissan is raising wages in Mississippi and Tennessee after the UAW secured wins for workers at GM, Ford, and Stellantis plants. Good morning, I'm Kristen Wright with NPR News, and here are today's top stories. The leader of Hamas's political wing says the militant group is close to reaching a deal with negotiators on a possible pause in the hostilities with Israel and the release of some hostages. This as Gaza's health system falls into deeper distress. Michael Ryan is the executive director of the Health Emergencies Program at the World Health Organization.
We are seeing a complete collapse of the higher level infrastructure of the Gazan health system. It is just the most basic of needs that can be met now.
Ryan says a handful of hospitals in Gaza are able to function still and adds recent heavy rain is flooding out makeshift camps and heightening the risks of infection and disease. The Supreme Court in Wisconsin will hear arguments today in a redistricting case that could lead to new legislative maps by next year's elections. Chuck Quirmbach with member station WUWM reports one main issue is so-called voter islands.
Most of Wisconsin's 132 state assembly and Senate seats have small neighborhoods or areas that are disconnected from the rest of the district. Attorney Jeff Mandel represents Democratic voters in the redistricting case. He says these islands isolate many people from their government.
You want as much as possible that your neighbors share your same elected representative, and so you can discuss issues and you can organize.
Mandel says the Wisconsin Constitution requires districts to be contiguous, but lawyers for more conservative voters say map makers have long been allowed to keep towns and other communities in the same legislative district, even though parts are detached. For NPR News, I'm Chuck Quirmbach in Milwaukee.
Nissan is raising wages for workers at its manufacturing plants in Mississippi and Tennessee. Stephen Bisaha of the Gulf States Newsroom reports this comes after the United Auto Workers ratified new contracts with wage increases at the big three automakers.
Nissan will increase pay by about 10% for many of its workers at its three southern plants. Nissan did not mention the UAW's contract as the reason for the increase, but one of the key ways foreign automakers keep unions out of their southern U.S. plants is by paying close attention to union wages. The newly ratified UAW contract with GM, Ford, and Stellantis raises pay by 25% over the next 4.5 years. That kicked off announcements from foreign automakers this month promising their own raises, including Hyundai, Honda, and Toyota. For NPR News, I'm Stephen Bisaha.
The 9 people on board a U.S. Navy plane that overshot a runway in Hawaii made it to shore unharmed. The plane ended up in a bay at a Marine base about 10 miles from Honolulu. Weather may have been a factor. It was cloudy and rainy around the time of the incident. You're listening to NPR News.